So,
Picture this. It's the dawn of 2024 and you're poised for success. Why? Because you've established your why. This isn't just a whim or a hobby. It's the passion that propels you forward, the core of your ambition. Next, you assess your current position. Where do you stand? What are your strengths, your weaknesses? Honesty is key here. Now, envisage your destination. What do you want to achieve by the end of this year? Set those goals. Make them smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. With your destination locked, it's time to map out your plan. Break down your goals into manageable steps, then start stepping. Remember, action without reflection is aimless. Record your results, analyze your performance, and adjust your plan accordingly. The path to success in 2024 isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Take meaningful action, keep your eye on the prize, and continually strive for improvement. Here's to a successful 2024.
wow, good morning, everybody. Great to be here. Another Thursday morning with the three wise men. I didn't add old in there, but it's good to see you again. And welcome to Wilhelm and Glenn. Great to be here again on this early Thursday morning. I see the sun is shining. It looks like it might rain today, which is great. And yeah, today we're going to be talking about some really fantastic stuff. And I just want to tell you a little bit of background before I get Wilhelm and Glenn to introduce themselves. My name is David Bauer. I'm from the CEO Business Club. And we basically help Red Dots come together to collectively help you to grow your business, but yet stay in control. However, let's talk about a little bit about what we're going to talk about today. So on Monday, I actually went to a networking group in Centurion, and I've met this amazing man called Brad Cunningham, and he basically imparted some knowledge to us regarding success and how success does not equal mindset plus strategy. And I thought it would be a really good and interesting subject to debate and discuss today together with the three wise men, and just to see how you know his theory and look at Brad's way of thinking. And I think Brad's got some really very clever thoughts there. We're going to be discussing this, and I hope Brad's on and listening in, and he can add some comments into the comment section. So today, Wilhelm and Glenn, Wilhelm is a life energy coach, and Glenn is a map for life coach. And they come from two totally different perspectives. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves quickly, and you can see where they come from, and then we'll go into the various topics that Brad Cunningham actually presented to us. Wilhelm, please introduce yourself.
Good morning, David, Glenn, and all the people that are here. It's really a great opportunity to chat to you today. Yeah, David, it was many years ago, it's more than, say, 21 years ago, I did a master's degree in personal, interpersonal, professional leadership. And I decided to research the topic of why people suffer burnout, or at that stage, the word wasn't actually existing, but chronic fatigue. So it's all about energy. And that's what I try to understand, why people are not performing the way they need to perform. And there's different energy tanks that I realized that we need to have in place, and to keep the lines open so that that energy will flow so that you can perform at your very best. So that's where I come from. I see everything from an energy perspective. I believe energy is everything. If you don't have the energy, then you can't do anything, and we often feel it, especially nowadays. We feel how we get into a shop or in a place, and then there's this lack of energy, and you actually just want to turn around and go. And the problem is, we are all into this, and we start to lack more and more energy, and it's just a survival game, just to try to get through this day, through this year, and so on and so on. And so energy is important for me, and I always try to help people to energize them, to understand them, their energy better, and so on. So that's what I do, and I hope it will be an energetic chat here today.
Fantastic. Thank you, Wilhelm. Glenn, over to you. Please introduce yourself.
Thanks, David, and thanks, Wilhelm. And good morning to all the listeners, and shall I say watchers. Yeah, Glenn Lees Jones. I focus more on life and business coaching, and I use a tool called Map for Life. Map for Life has been around for over 23 years already. It's in over 94 countries worldwide. It's been used extensively and very well. And it's a simple 5-step methodology, and it works. It's age-old tested things that have been used all along. So I think, in fact, Brad, I'm sure he's probably using the exact same concepts. It's just a particular tool that's been put together, and it works. So that's me. I also do freelance sales for Impact Radio. Tomorrow, believe it or not, I'm celebrating 33 years with my wife. One wife, by the way. And I'm looking forward to that. So it's really going to be great. And in next week, I'm 60. A big 60. I'm really excited.
We'll have to celebrate. Have a party. Great. Well, thank you, Glenn. Thank you very much. Thanks, Wilhelm. Great. Let's now go into the topic for today. So the topic that you saw is mindset plus strategy. Does it equal success? Yes or no? And that's what we'll be discussing today. And under that, we've got 5 points that we will be discussing. The one is the illusion of universal success formula. The next one is recovering your inner power. The next one is the consequences of conformity. The next one is clarity of self-awareness. And the following and the last would be embracing your journey. So we're going to be discussing these. And we basically, this is a precursor to our monthly event that we hold. We hold this at the Casablanca Manor. It's just basically east of Pretoria, out there. It's very near Cullinan. It's very nice, and we hold an event on a Saturday. It's a whole morning event from early till mid-afternoon, and through that we take you through a journey. And the whole idea is for you to embrace who you are and to actually put in place practical steps to actually go forward and move forward in your life, identify where you are and so on. So this is a precursor to that. And every week we bring discussion points like this to you so that you can actually learn a little bit more. So please enjoy. So the first point is the illusion of the universal formula. Now, as we know, if you take, and this is from Brad basically put this on the board, and it actually, like a spark hit me, like, wow, okay. He said 1 + 5 = 6. Now, assuming 6 is the success point that you want to reach, but then 12 divided by 2 also equals 6. And then 2 times 3 = 6. And then 9 minus 3 also equals 6. So there's a number of ways to come to 6, which could be the success. And what Brad was saying is the same thing, that in life, there's a number of different ways to come to success. So what I would like to now ask Wilhelm, from a life energy point of view, how does the understanding of one's unique energy help to debunk the myth of this universal success formula? Over to you, Wilhelm.
Thank you, David. Yes, the very first thing is that we are a diverse bunch of people. We are unique. We are different. So you can't really take this one formula for all because we are so different. And that's why there are different approaches, and people understand things differently. So that's very important. For me, it's important success is actually to be able to energize or to activate your energy tanks, your different energy tanks. Now there are 7 different energy tanks that I focus on, and that's your spiritual, your emotional, your mental, your physical, social, work, and finance. Those are the energy tanks I believe that we all sit with. And if you can sort of, you have that ability to activate that energy tanks through whatever formula there might be. Of course, we can learn from one another, and maybe there's that person that really activate your energy, and that's the important thing. But it's not everybody. Everybody will not follow what I say, for instance. Maybe there's a different approach, and I think that is what we try to do, especially when we get together on that Saturday the 24th of February, I believe. No? So it is to have this different approaches from us, for instance, but we are also open-minded from what the people that attend this will also say. And then we find that thing that can help you to energize you to be a much better person. So I believe the key aspect is to be able to unlock your energy tanks. And there's a lot of wisdom needed to be able to do that. And today wisdom is called emotional intelligence. But we will talk more about that. And I believe, and I've seen it, this week I was all in hospital places and whatever things, and I've seen very competent people, knowledgeable people, but they lack basic wisdom. That's the problem. And we really need to work on our energy tanks and get the wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you, Wilhelm. Thank you. And Glenn, from your point of view, can you share with us how Map for Life approaches the concept of diverse methods of leading to success and how it may differ from traditional success formulas?
Absolutely. It's such an incredible question. And I first want to just thank Brad for his article. I wasn't at the seminar, at the function, but I have read his article and I think it's great. I think it's brilliant. Some major truths in that article. And so, Brad, kudos to you. I want to, however, I like to be a little controversial sometimes. And so I'm going to throw a bit of a span in the works over here. But please bear in mind, whoever's watching, remember that this is a personal opinion. It's me. This is who I am. Okay. You don't have to like it, but here's the point I want to bring across. The first point was about the illusion of a universal success formula. Now, interesting enough, from my own perspective, I happen to be a Christian and I believe in the Word of God as the ultimate truth. And if you go to Scripture and you actually read Scripture, and I'm going to read a particular Scripture to you because I want to bring a message across here. Joshua 1 verse 8 to 9, that's in the Old Testament, okay? It says this book of the law, in other words, the Bible, shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, that you may be careful to do according to all that is written in it. Therefore, then you will make your way prosperous, and then you will have good success. There's about 33 other scriptures that can back that up and cross-reference to that. So why am I bringing that out? Well, I read the first section of it, and it says the illusion of a universal success formula. I believe there is a universal success formula, and that is the Word of God, to actually trust in the Word of God and actually apply it in your life. There's principles involved. I often talk to people, and I look at things like gravity. Gravity works. Whether you want to believe it or not, it works. It's a universal law. So there are certain principles involved that are universal. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's fine, but it works. At the same time, however, I also agree that success isn't a one-size-fits-all. We're all different people. Wilhelm spoke about that. We are all unique. We have been created so amazingly, a fingerprint that's different on every single person on this planet, 8-point-something billion people. It's fascinating. So, yes, I also believe that the whole concept about strategy and about mindset is an important factor in terms of that success. Because without that, you're going to have some challenges as well. So that's a very debatable topic, this. But I really believe that it's important to understand. And then Brad brings that across very strongly, that we're all unique, we're all different, and we have to focus on our strengths and the things that we do each individually. And at the end of the day, we also need to understand, what does success mean to you? Because it might mean a completely different thing to me. I might meet a street sweeper who is extremely happy, absolutely joyful, has everything he wants in life, and yet he could be very poor according to most people. Yet for him, he has success. So it's a very debatable issue there. But I'm going to leave it at that one for now. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Glenn. Thank you for those gems that you just dropped for us. Thanks, Wilhelm. Yeah, so the next point that we would like to discuss is recovering your inner power. Now, one of the things that Brad brought across as well was the point that it's not a point of discovering your inner power. It's actually rediscovering it, because we're all born within that power. It's in us already. We just have to discover it. And I think that's a very interesting point because, I can see it with my daughter, how she is and how she really knows what she wants in her life. And, when I was her age, I had no clue. I was like, and that's the next point we're going to be discussing about conformity to what other people want us to do. But the fact is that she knows what she wants to do. She's so like definite, and it's so clear. She's got clarity about it, and it's actually amazing. But I'd like to ask now, Wilhelm, Wilhelm, a question regarding this. In what ways can individuals tap into their life energy to rediscover and reclaim that inner power within them? Wilhelm?
Yeah, thank you, David. It's to unlock that inner power that we have, because you mentioned the fact that we have everything. Actually, we are, well, most of us are clever enough. We got all the brains. We got all the capacity to be whatever we want to be. There's no limit, and knowledge about your energy, I believe, is quite important, because if you know how to unlock those energy tanks, you will be better socially. Your communication, I find that communication is still, after many years of lots of information, whatever, it's the big problem. People don't communicate, for instance.
Mm.
So there's some reasons for that. And we need to understand how to unlock our energy, how to open our minds up. We sit with the most sophisticated control system in our bodies, a control system, and that's our hearts, that control actually how our energy flow. And if there's negative emotions involved, certain things happen. And when I talk about negative emotions, things like any emotion that activates the fight or flight type of reaction. And the moment when certain things like that happen, the energy flow is not there. I mean, you can't really think clearly. You can't make wise decisions, and so on and so on. So we need to overcome our limiting beliefs. We need to believe and understand how powerful we can be. But as we've mentioned, any person is unique. There's nobody like you. And that's the problem of conformity and all those things, is that we want to be like the other person. And we are not. We are unique. And if we understand this, and I believe that the big problem is, because of the stress of the day, it actually cut off our intelligence. I call it life energy intelligence. Like spiritual intelligence and emotional intelligence, it's actually a holistic approach to activate all those different energy tanks. And if you can do that, then you will be able to overcome limiting beliefs. You will be able to master your stress better. And if you master your stress better, you can build that resilience and work on resilience so that you can be the best version of yourself in any situation at this moment. Because that's the crisis. It's no use thinking of my holiday the end of the year, or maybe this weekend, then I will be able to relax a bit. And no, we need to be able to manage or to handle the stresses of life today, in this very moment, at this moment. And when I'm able to do that, I will be the best version of myself.
Thank you, Wilhelm. Yeah, I must say that it's all about recovering that inner power and rediscovering what it is. Glenn, from your point of view, how would Matter Life guide individuals in finding their authentic self-expression and personal values?
Exactly. First of all, I want to apologize. I came to this restaurant because of the meetings that I've got, and I thought it would be quiet here. Now they've got music playing in the background, the TV's going, so forgive me. Hopefully you can hear everything clearly. I think for me, in terms of unlocking that power, it starts off with a word which I like to call something that is the biggest nation in the world. And it's not China, it's not Russia, it's not America, none of that. It's about imagination. it starts with a dream and a vision. And Map for Life is really about that. There's a 5-step methodology behind Map for Life. Establish your position, determine your destination, prepare an action plan, take meaningful action according to the action plan, record the results. The process that you work through actually brings out that potential inside you. It's an incredible process. And I've seen this time and time again when we go through a day course or a mastery course or whatever. Literally halfway through the course, people are having these aha moments where they suddenly realize, that's it. That's what it is. That's the purpose. And so it's really fascinating to me. It's an amazing tool that can be used, and anyone can use it. I literally used it on my 9-year-old son, and he did things which are astounding at 9 years old. So it really is fascinating. I think at the end of the day, it's really about exactly what we say. It's not about finding your purpose, because people will actually go out and go and find something, but that's not what it's about. It's about rediscovering what's inside you, discovering the purpose within you, and actually bringing it out, and then living life to abundance in terms of that purpose. That for me, that's it.
Mm. No, absolutely, Glenn. And one of the things that we'll be doing at the workshop on the 24th of February at Casablanca, we'll be actually taking you through a process and providing you with some tools so that you can actually really go in and actually discover who you are and what your purpose is. I think that's the biggest thing that people struggle with. What is my purpose? What am I actually doing here on this earth? Why am I here? Am I here just to go through life, with mediocrity, or am I here to create abundance in my life? And abundance doesn't mean wealth; it means a whole way of living. And all of us have different needs with regard to that. So let's go to the next point. I'm just aware of the time. And I think this is the big one. And I know that this really was my issue in my life. The consequences of conformity. Now, for example, in my life, my parents basically said, this is what your direction in your life will be. And my grandfather was an entrepreneur. My dad was an entrepreneur businessman. And guess what they said to me? No, you must go along and work in corporate. You must get a corporate job, because then you'll have a job and you'll be secure for the rest of your life. Well, really? That didn't work. So I followed that, and I didn't actually do what I wanted to do. And I think if I had done what I wanted to do and I had followed my dream and been given the flexibility to actually follow what I wanted to do, I'd be in a very different place to where I am today. Very different. So I'd like to maybe ask Glenn a question regarding this from a Map for Life point of view. Glenn, how does Map for Life help individuals realign their lives with their genuine priorities and values, especially in the contrast of educational and societal conditioning?
Absolutely, an important question, and I do agree with the whole concept. I actually gave a talk about, are you conforming and non-conforming, and I look at it from a worldly perspective and a spiritual perspective. Once again, it's completely different. And the sad thing is that we are so stuck in a worldly system, and we think that way all the time, and we've been brought up in that concept from our parents, from our schooling education system, you name it. We've been created to become job seekers, with all respect to the job. The fact of the matter is that, again, it comes down to that imagination, the dream, the vision, discovering the purpose and actually stepping into that and following after that. I think there's a couple of things that often block us, and that's money, time, skill, and knowledge. Let me give you an example. From a Map for Life perspective, when we start going through the process and we start really doing some brainstorming and things that we like to do and ideas in various areas of life, whether it's your personal life, your business, we actually say to people, there's 3 things that you must not keep in your mind. When you're writing an idea down, don't think, oh, I don't have the time for this, and then you don't write it down. No, push it aside, write down the idea. The second one is money. Most people will say, oh, they'll think of this great idea, and immediately they'll go, well, I don't have the money to do this, so stop it. And they'll push it aside. And it lies on the shelf for years, and nothing ever materializes. Put that thought aside, write it down, okay? If it's not inked, it's just vapor, okay? So, and then the third one, obviously, is skill and knowledge. And again, you don't have to have all the skill and knowledge to do everything. It's about networking with people. There are always people on this little instrument, on this little tool, that you can get hold of, and that can actually lead you to the right people as well. It might not even be on your phone, but they can lead you to the right people. Okay. We actually go through a process where we set goals when we do the courses. And oftentimes this comes up where people say, but I don't have the knowledge and the skill to do this goal. And we say, pick up your phone, look for an engineer, look for a doctor, look for a dentist, look for whatever on your phone. And pretty much 99% of the time they'll find somebody. It's actually that simple. And you'll be amazed how people are so open to be able to give their knowledge. And yes, there's money involved as well with that. But the fact of the matter is they're open to look at things, and there's always ways to overcome that in the future in terms of equity, in terms of shares in the business, whatever it might be. Okay. So yeah, that's a map for life process.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you very much. Wilhelm, from your point of view, what role does life energy play in overcoming negative impacts of social conformity?
Yes, David, conformity, there's some good and bad about that. And I believe it's all about energy alignment. If conformity can sometimes be a way to save energy, because you do it automatically in a sense, and yes, that's a easier way to go. So one must be open-minded, and you must say, but listen, is this thing draining my energy, disempowering me as a person, or does it help me to save energy so that I don't worry too much about how to do certain things? Because the road is there. You can take that road and you can do certain things. So I think that is important, just to understand your energy again. And yes, I think the good thing about today is that the old ways of getting a job and going to corporate and all those things is not really working anymore for everybody. And people started to open up their minds. They come up with brilliant ideas. Sometimes the best thing that can happen to you is to get retrenched, and then you start to do what you need to do and to open up your mind. So I think one must just be aware of, is this thing energizing me, or is it really draining my energy? Where do I go with this? And then it's not a bad thing, but it's not good as well.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I look at my life and I think about, when I'm get up at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm really energized and I'm excited about what I want to do. I seem to put so much more into what I want to do when I'm actually enjoying it. But when there's something that I don't want to do, and there are a few things that I don't like really doing, such as accounting. Any accountants out there, please get hold of me. No, I just can't do it. It's just like the energy drainer total. But ask me to put a movie together or put a marketing strategy together. Gee, I'll be there. I want to do it. It's so energetic. It's so energizing for me. And I think that's really, the thing about, if you are in a line with what you want to do in life, you will do it well. If you are doing what someone else wants you to do, you're not going to do it well. So I think that's something that we need to be aware of. And I think that brings us to the next point, and that's clarity of self-awareness. The question that I have, and I'm going to ask Glenn this question. Glenn, can you tell me what your mission vision is? What is your mission and vision?
I'm sorry, David. This music is so loud. I didn't quite catch that. What is your
mission and what is your vision?
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Okay. Excellent. Interesting enough, I actually did a Stephen Covey course many years back in 1987. And I wrote down a mission statement for way back then, and then I just formulated and changed it and adapted it. And effectively, it comes down for me to, I will make a positive impact in people's lives, challenge them to excel in every sphere of life. And so ultimately, all I do is every morning I get up, I put my feet down on the floor, and I go, thank you that today, whoever I meet, whether it's friend, whether it's foe, whether it's young, old, black, white, yellow, pink, who knows, maybe an alien, whoever it is, I will focus on making an impact in their life and challenge them to excel in every sphere of life and get them to change from a positive perspective. So that's really my purpose. That's my mission ultimately. That's what I want to do, and that's exactly what I do. That's what I certainly attempt to do on a daily basis.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you. Now, the reason why I asked Glenn that was it was an ad hoc question. It wasn't prepared. I didn't ask Glenn to prepare this at all. But the question is that how many of us that are listening in can actually say what our mission and vision is? And I know Glenn for some time now, and I know that what I know of Glenn, he actually follows that. He does make an impact on every single person that he meets, and he actually focuses on them 100%. And it's a fantastic trait. I love it, and I wish I had that trait because Glenn has. It's amazing when he focuses on someone. He focuses on them. He gives them 100% of that focus, and he's there to actually help the person. And this is what it's about. Now, the question is, how many of you know what your mission and vision is with such clarity as Glenn has? And I think this is where it comes into having clarity of awareness of who you are. And this is one of the questions Brad asked in at the meeting that we had at the networking group. He said, "Okay, who of you can actually state what your mission and vision is?" And it came to my mind that actually a lot of people can't. Even myself, I sometimes battle, and sometimes my mission and vision changes all the time. So I'm not on one focused path. And I think the point that Glenn is bringing forward here is that you need to be focused on one clear path. But the question is, what is that? What is your purpose? How do you actually find clarity? And that's where we help you on the 24th of February. We help you to get clarity of who.
You're muted, David. You're muted.
Mute myself. Sorry. And how you can actually form clarity in your life and about, and what we do at the course, just to repeat, I don't know how much you didn't list on that, but to repeat that on the 24th, what we will do is we'll actually take you through a process so that you can actually identify what that is, get clarity on it. Then obviously you can work and on it and actually get total cozy so that every morning when you get up, that's what's in your mind. This is what I'm going to do today. This is my objective. I want to ask Wilhelm from an energy life point of view. How does this increase of self-awareness of gaining clarity in your life help you in actually impacting what you achieve in your life, Wilhelm?
Yes, David. When we think about vision, now we do a lot of vision boarding exercises and things, and it's great and it really works. But the problem that people sit with it's sometimes not even their own vision. It's sometimes what the conformity, what the world like, the cars, the houses, the things, and and it often happens that another year passed by and you didn't really achieve the things that's on your vision board. I talk about a power vision. You need to power up. You need to energize your vision, and you do that by thinking in terms of your different energy tanks. So your vision must absolutely open up those tanks, because if you have a vision or whatever and it's not in line with your value system, then you will not be energized to do that, for instance. And that's in your spiritual dimension or the spiritual energy tanks. So you need to become aware of who you really are. You mentioned the fact that people don't know who they are, maybe, or what their vision is, but they don't even know what their purpose in life is. And when you don't know what your purpose, why are you on earth, then you can try everything around and it's just draining your energy. But when you start focusing on what you need to do, and it might be totally different from what the other person need to do, but if you find that purpose in life, and it involves a lot of different things. So I think that is a big problem that we sit with nowadays. People are not aware of who they really are, and they are definitely not aware of their unique energy drains. And that's where I have this little questionnaire. You do it in 3 to 4 minutes to sort of help you understand where your unique energy leaks are. And we are going to do that questionnaire that day as well. And it really gives you an idea. And if there's too many energy leaks, you tend to run into the threat that you might burn out. Burnout is really on the other side of the scale of energy, where you have no energy left and you can really die. Um, that's the problem of burnout. Burnout is serious, and I can tell you, lots of people, we sit like that frog in this hot boiling water, almost boiling water, and we just sit there and we don't know that we are busy cooking, or we are not aware of that. And this is what this questionnaire do. And I can also determine and help people also with a questionnaire to understand, but where are their energy leaks in different tanks, energy tanks? What are the problems there? So that you become aware. We got all the knowledge, and you can go and search the internet and chat GPT and whatever, and it will tell you a lot of great information. You must check my bookshelf here. I got all the books, all the books. I can be the most cleverest guy in the world, but I don't do that because it's not so easy. It's knowledge, but you need to translate it, put it or decode it into wisdom. And it's all about living it. It's habits. You need to form that habit and be aware and understand how this energy work in your life. And the moment when there's an energy leak, you need to become aware of that and say, okay, how do I need to block this now, or to work around this? And it must be a skill that we have every day. And the problem is, lots of people don't know it. They are unaware of what's going on. That's from my side.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Wilhelm. And actually, that brings a good question to Glenn, because, Glenn's got a saying, and he uses it quite often about meandering around, like the river meanders. And it's similar in your life. Are you meandering? And Glenn has got a way of actually doing that. Glenn, over to you. Let's hear from your side from the matter.
Sure, obviously. And I'm assuming you're talking about directionless existence.
Yes.
There we go, directionless existence. It's such a sad thing, really. With Map for Life, we've spoken to so many different people, and there was a particular student that came on board and actually mentioned this, and now we use this. We got his permission to use it, and we talk often in the Map for Life concept about the problem, the aspiration, and the solution. And the problem is literally that it's directionless existence. So many people are getting up in the morning, going to a job, a mundane job. They're not enjoying it. In fact, so oftentimes they're hating it. And they come back home and do the same thing over and over again. And when you ask them why you're doing it, it's a means to an end. It pays the paycheck at the end of the month. And that is really so sad. The aspiration, as far as I'm concerned, of most people, and it's so interesting, when I ask people about this type of question, I say, what is it that you really want? The first thing that comes out of their mind is financial wealth, financial freedom. And I can understand that, because a lot of things revolve around the money issue in the world. But the fact of the matter is, ultimately, what they really want is abundant life, because it's way more than just the financial wealth. That's a part of it, and a big part of it. I accept that. But it's about abundant life in every aspect of life, living abundantly. And then for me, the solution is really, again, just two words: purposeful living. Purposeful living. If you're stepping out into your purpose and the gifts and talents that you are, and you're moving in that direction, I tell you now, the things will begin to flow. The money will flow. Everything else will begin to flow. And you're still going to have challenges. There are going to be obstacles in your way. But the fact of the matter is that abundant life, you'll begin to experience that. Thanks, David.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Glenn. Thanks for that. Yeah, like directionless existence. I've been doing that for a while as well, having a directionless existence. And I think, by doing these courses that we've done and that we are providing, we actually gain focus. I mean, for us, for example, last year the three of us spoke about this, what we want to do this year with Vision 2024, and we started putting a plan together. And what the big difference was, we actually did something about it. We said, right, from the 1st of January, we're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing this on a weekly basis. And we're going to do it basically 3 times a month, so that not every Thursday, but every Thursday for 3 times that month, we'll do this uh, discussion. And now we're doing it. And I think that's what's happening here. We have actually got identified a journey. And we're going to be every month. We're going to have a seminar, a workshop at Casablanca. We've organized with them to give us a great meal, and to provide us a great space to actually do this in. And so we've actually put an action in place, and this is what we're doing. And we here, our mission is to help people to actually find their purpose and to actually put together a journey. And I think that's our next point that we come to as far as Brad's presentation is concerned, and that is embracing your journey. Now, one of the things that Brad spoke about, which is, we all know this, is that there are certain things that we can control, and there are certain things that we cannot control in our lives. And understanding the things that we can't control is a very important aspect, but also understanding what we can control and how we actually can put in place things and systems and methodologies and plans to actually control those things that we can control, and not try and control the things we can't control. And we put our energy into it. And I think that's really a very, very important aspect. And I think, from an energy point of view, I'm going to ask Wilhelm to give us some feedback here. Wilhelm, basically embracing your journey. How can one use the understanding of one's life energy to better embrace and navigate your personal journey, including accepting the shadow parts of themselves and those parts that you cannot control?
Thank you, David. Yeah, I actually only want to say two things. First, stop blaming. Stop blaming life and everything around, because blaming is the biggest energy draining factor. I always say blame stands for be lame. The moment when you blame, you become lame. And it's not only you, but if you blame somebody else, they will just say, okay, that's how it is. And you actually take their energy away as well. So the point is, it's your life. You need to take responsibility for it. What are you going to do about it? Thank you.
That's so powerful what you just said. I was just thinking, I was talking about my wise daughter, right? The other day she said to me, Daddy, why do you complain so much? And I thought, hold on, we don't complain. She says, no, you complain about the plastic. You complain about this. You complain about that. Why do you complain all the time? And, what Wilhelm just said is so like, wow, am I blaming myself, but also blaming my child in what I'm doing? And I suddenly became much more aware of what I'm actually doing, and maybe to be more positive about it rather than on the negative side. And I think that's such a powerful thing that one can actually apply, and I think Wilhelm, I always think of that, blaming, become lame. Thanks for that. I mean, that's a gem in itself. And if you can walk away with just that, then we've accomplished our mission for today. And that is to help you individuals on how to actually improve your lives and basically live the abundant life that you want to live for this year in 2024. Glenn, I want to ask you a question. In what ways does Map for Life encourage reflection, action, acceptance as part of the individual's journey towards self-improvement?
Okay, thanks, David. I think really two words come out of here for me, and that is planning and habits. The whole process within Map for Life is about planning things out. And the issue is that if we have a dream and a vision or goal, whatever it might be, and we're stuck in old habits and old ways, it's going to be a bit of a problem. You're going to really have a challenge in terms of changing and achieving whatever you want to achieve, especially if it's some really big, audacious, hairy goal or a massive dream that you have or a massive vision that you've received. You have to begin to change habits. I often talk about that word habitat. You habit at whatever the environment is. You need to make sure that the environment is going to change in terms of getting to that particular dream and vision. So your habits are extremely important as well. And the Map for Life process helps you to put those habits in place, because it's not just a case of 1 or 2 days, okay, I've got the habit now. It doesn't work that way. Okay, and I give a story about NAS and what they did as far as habits are concerned. I'm not going to touch on that right now, but we'll maybe chat about that at the function on the 24th. But it's so important to understand that and really understand that you've got to get to a point. Let me give a simple example. You climb in a car and you drive from A to B, and you get to B and you think, how did I get here? I don't even know how I got here. You've been so engrossed in your thoughts and thinking that you just automatically drove there. That's how you need to get your habits to be, to that extent. Then you know it's a real habit. And that's the challenge. People don't do that. They'll set their goals, they'll do whatever they want to do, but 2-3 days later, they give it up. It's never going to work. So, okay. I think that'll answer the question for you.
Thank you very much, Glenn. Thank you. Well, that answers the 5 aspects that we wanted to really discuss today. And what I'd like to do is to invite you, we'll put it in the comments below, the registration for the event on the 24th of February. Please book early. There is limited seating. And what you can do is you can also invite a friend. This is something we'll do. We'll put it on the group as well. And identify people out there who could actually really help. You know, if there's somebody you know who's actually really doesn't know where they're going right now or wants more clarity, then invite them to the event. It's going to be something that's very unique. And what we do there is we actually create an accountability group. So it's not just a once-off. It's not a scenario where you just go once and then cheerio. It's more of it's going to be for the whole of 2024, where we create a group for you, and you can rely on that group. We put information in that group. We give great tips in that group, and basically we get you to actually commit to certain various things. So it's a very great process, and we invite you to be part of that. So come along, join us on the 24th of February. I think Wilhelm will put the link, or I'll put the link into the chat just now, and you're most welcome to come and join. There'll also be more advertising on it. And then on the 15th of February, we'll be hosting another event such as this. We're not going to be here next Thursday, but the following, on the 15th, we'll do this again on another subject. And I'd like to just do a big shout out to Brad Cunningham for his wisdom that he provided. You are most welcome to go to his LinkedIn site, Brad Cunningham, just look for that. A very wise man, and go and follow him. He's got a number of courses as well, so please go and join those. Go and have a look at that. It's really, I'm very impressed with with Brad. He's really, very wise guy, and there's a lot of wisdom in what he's doing. And he's got some courses as well. Go and join those courses. So fantastic. So I'd like to ask Wilhelm and then Glenn just to wrap up from their side, and then we're going to call it a day. Wilhelm, over to you.
Thank you, David. Yeah, I just want to say, if you feel stressed in any sense about yourself, maybe about your business, remember, it's your responsibility. Don't blame, do something about it. And maybe the 24th is the way to do something about this. Have a great, energetic day.
Fantastic. Thank you, Wilhelm. Over to you, Glenn.
Apologies. My mouse didn't want to work. I'm trying to unmute myself here. Excuse me. I think to end off, let me give this tip. Oftentimes when we want to change things and do things differently, we try and do everything all at once, and we're trying to change a million things. don't do that. You're setting yourself up for failure. Just consider 1% change. Take one particular area, whether it's your work, whether it's your family life, or whatever it is, and think about what's the 1% that you can change today. And go out and do it. Change it. And tomorrow, do the same thing. Just change it 1%, just 1%. And the next day, do the same thing. By the end of the year, watch what happens to your life. It'll be phenomenal. There will be massive, massive, massive change. And you can apply that in any area of life. And so really that's a tip for me to you. And I trust that you'll have an awesome, amazing, incredible, and as Willem always says, a life energy day. God bless you all.
Fantastic. Well, enjoy, guys. Enjoy your day. And if you know anyone else would like to join our sessions, it's on a Thursday, 8 o'clock, South African time to 9 o'clock. And so enjoy the movie that I'm going to show you now. And good luck. And come and follow us and like us on LinkedIn. And yeah, follow Wilhelm and Glenn and obviously Brad. Cheerio, guys. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Picture this. It's the dawn of 2024 and you're poised for success. Why? Because you've established your why. This isn't just a whim or a hobby. It's the passion that propels you forward, the core of your ambition. Next, you assess your current position. Where do you stand? What are your strengths, your weaknesses? Honesty is key here. Now, envisage your destination. What do you want to achieve by the end of this year? Set those goals. Make them smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. With your destination locked, it's time to map out your plan. Break down your goals into manageable steps, then start stepping. Remember, action without reflection is aimless. Record your results, analyze your performance, and adjust your plan accordingly. The path to success in 2024 isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Take meaningful action, keep your eye on the prize, and continually strive for improvement. Here's to a successful 2024.